So let's talk about this Tabitha Brown controversy. Let me first by saying, for those of you that don't know who Tabitha Brown is, she's someone that came up. She was an actress. Now she has her own product brands and in stores. I believe she has a product brand in Target, and she blew up on social media. She has a vegan line and all of this, right? And she said this. I'm just going to play it.
Hello there. Real quick. That this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay? You kind of been in this place for a long time. Okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay? Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, it don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur. But you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to, okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work. But right now you need to go to work. You're gonna need to get a job, okay? And then keep working towards it. But at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing. But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. Now go about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Don't be mad at me, okay?
Those of us that are entrepreneurs, we understand what she's saying. But there is a few that got upset. And someone says a hit pig always squeals or something like that. And that means that if they're talking to you, you know, if your toes are getting stepped on, then move your toes out of the way. I'm going to say this, and this is not in any way browbeating anyone, but it's to help and to educate. I don't see one thing wrong with what Tabitha said. The only thing I would say is that I believe that entrepreneurship is available to everyone, but it's not for everyone. If someone is getting up at 5 a.m. and they are doing a side hustle to make their dreams come true, you're not the same person that gets out of bed at 12 o'clock and just say, I want to be an entrepreneur. It just doesn't work that way. Society has messed a lot of people's minds up where everyone gets a trophy, and that's not reality. They don't care about you. They can give a crap about how lazy you are. And there are some people that's just lazy. And lazy people, you will not succeed. She did not say anything negative that was out of line and said, I made it and you can't. No, she was actually telling you the truth. And the truth be told, the way she said it, it ain't working for you. You need to pay back, people and all of that. That sounds personal. That sounds like, someone was borrowing money from her family members or friends, and she was tired of it. And she's telling them to go get a job, to which she was right. The truth really hurts. And I believe she drove Uber. Well, I drove Uber. And I'm telling you out of love, because I want you to make it if you're an entrepreneur. There are some entrepreneurs that don't work hard and they have a business and they're making enough to pay their bills. And they may get upset at what she's saying, but in actuality, she's trying to help you, right? Then there's some entrepreneurs that don't work hard. They work hard, but not smarter. And so now, if you're a hardworking entrepreneur and You are not making it. Now you need to start studying how to work smarter, right? I always say this, and there's some phrases that I want to, that I live by, that I've learned, and especially in the last 5 years when my businesses really took off. You don't want to try to get into rooms where you're the poorest person. Let me say that again. Try to get into the rooms where you are the poorest person. Don't try or spend all of your time in the room where you're the wealthiest person. Try to be in the rooms where you could learn so you could level up. Follow? And then another thing that I always say, people like to do what they're passionate about. So if you're a cook, you just open up a restaurant. Well, you may be a cook and a horrible business person. You know, that's why restaurants have the highest failure rate just about out of anything you can go into, because you haven't studied, okay? And I'm talking to everyone with a small business, a hair shop, you know, restaurant. I'm talking to the barber shops. I'm talking to food preps. I'm talking to any type of business. I don't care if you do accounting. I don't care what your business is. I don't care if you're coding. If you're not hungry, and if you're not hungry enough to outwork the next person, then you're just not going to grow. I'm going to show you this chart, and I want you to see who's affected by these jobs the most. This is not the time to get upset. This is the time to learn. There's a lot of people that want to be influencers. Well, let me tell you something about this influencer. This influencer was driving Uber. This influencer was working 10-hour days and coming home and still doing this when there was no money to be made. There was no money. I have monthly checks at $75, then $150, but I was consistent, but I had another job. So Tabitha telling you to get another job, some of you just need to find out if what you're working in is the right thing. Remember, do what people will pay you for and become passionate about that. That do what you love and you'll never work another day in your life, that's a lie. Uncle Larry's here to tell you. And I'm saying this in love. So if you're upset at what she said and you're listening to these other influencers that are upset at what she said, then they're not helping you. It's like American Idol, you know, the first couple of seasons when people were singing horribly off. Well, somebody told them they could sing instead of telling them the truth. The truth will make you free. And so I'm speaking to you guys that are entrepreneurs or even considering being an entrepreneur. Number one, study your butt off first, and don't just launch a business because you're good at something. And what this dear sister was doing was trying to help someone. Then, of course, we shoot the messenger. I agreed with the clip I saw. Now, her product line and the boycott and all of that, I missed all of that. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just this portion of what she said. She was 100% right. I have family members. I had a distant family member that just called me out of the blue and asked me for a lump sum of money. And guess what? I gave them my class for free. And then here we go, 9 months later, a year later, actually a year later. Hey, can I almost call the relationship? I need to borrow this because I want to start this business. And I go, have you taken any business classes? Nope. Do you know what's the likelihood of that business, exceeding? Nope. Have you worked for someone else in that business and asked them to be like in a role where you could learn the business? Nope. So you just woke up one morning, and he's a musician. So I said, so you just woke up 2 o'clock in the afternoon and decided that you want some of Uncle Larry's monies that he's worked hard for, right? Well, it's not that way. I said, well, what is it? And then this is what's going to get you guys. I said, had you studied any of the lessons that people are paying for this class, Stock Up You, link below. There's a coupon code. Look at it. And I said, have you looked at one lesson? Nope. And then I said, you don't deserve my money. I love you, but you don't deserve my money. All you're going to do is waste it. So I stand with this sister. And those, and I'm not talking about my relatives, believe it or not, those are the people that will hate you the most for telling you the truth. People that don't tell you the truth don't love you. God chasing those who he loves. Actually, God disciplines the one that he loves, because if he didn't discipline you, then he don't love you, right? You discipline your children because you love them and you give them guidance and correction. So I'm going to say this again. Please hear me. If you want to be broke, keep listening to broke people. But if you want to be wealthy, start listening to wealthy people and do the polar opposite of everything you used to do. Since 2020, I do financially, I do everything the polar opposite of what I used to do. Now, I was being better leading into 2020. I was being better with my finances and all of that. But for 2/3 of my life, I was doing the wrong thing. So when you see somebody that came up from nothing like she did and like I did, we're telling you we know the struggle and here's how to get out of the struggle. And so I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm probably going to do something else with this because this is such a hot topic. And my heart goes out for you because misery loves company. And people that have a problem with the truth, they are the loudest. Remember, people that sing off sing the loudest. And please don't buy into the naysayers and the haters, because they do not know what they're doing. Everyone that's hating on this statement, they have failing businesses. Everyone that's hating, they have failing businesses, or they're just barely getting above. And that's who you want to listen to, then you're going to get what you deserve. I'm just going to keep it straight. Remember, always consider the source. So now, I want you to do this for me if you're serious about gaining wealth. I want you to go on a spending fast. I remember I said this 3-4 years ago. Oh, who are you to tell people how to spend their money? And I know one person personally that said that, and they got a pile of bills on their table, right? And they're asking people, hey, can you help me with my rent? Okay. And so those are the people that feel like they're entitled, and you're not. You're not entitled to nothing but to pay taxes and to die. That's it. And food, basic utilities. That's what you're entitled to. No one's coming to save you, and no one owes you anything. You must work. AI is taking over our jobs. I'm telling you, you better be in search of the truth that's going to help you make a turnaround, a 180. You have to start doing something different. Yeah, I'm going to do some nice things for myself down the road. But for the last 5 years, outside of business expenses, I have done nothing for myself. Still living in an $180,000 home. I'm going to buy a second home. But the first thing I did was make sure that I was secure first. And for the last 6 years, more than that, but especially the last 6 years, I wanted to make sure that I was secure and not like these, a lot of the NFL players, black and white, that just wind up being broke because they wilding out with all of their money that they get instead of reinvesting and putting that money to work. The truth shall make you free. The people that loves you tells you the truth. So I want you to pray on it, remove your emotions, ask God to help you, and listen to people that tell you. I'm going to tell you. And for those of you that are just trying to pay your bills, listen, go on a spending fast. Every time you get ready to do something extra, take a year and don't go on vacation. Every time you get ready to do something extra, take that money and put it away and put it into an investment vehicle. And then I'm going to help you even free on this page. When you start listening to the right people like I did, I used to be like, woe is me, the man, he's got his foot on my neck and all of this. That's foolishness. Let me tell you, especially those that look like me, if you're listening to this foolishness about what you can't do, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you keep listening to this foolishness like I did back in the late 80s, 90s, okay? I listen to this foolishness. It's foolishness and it's keeping you down. You need to renew your mind and say, I can. I don't let anything hold me back. Nothing. I don't. I don't believe the crap. Now, if you believe that crap, does it exist? Absolutely. There's ceilings. There's still racism. So what are you going to do? Buy into that crap? No. You keep it pushing because everybody's not a racist. Everybody's not out to get you. And I'm telling you from someone that looks like you. One of the things I love about this page, I travel the world. I see people of all ages, all races. And you're not the only one having a hard time. America's having a hard time, okay? Period. And so I'm encouraging you to cut off the woe is me, get rid of them, get into the rooms where you're the poorest, get into the rooms where you're the dumbest. That's where you're gonna learn. The people that's gonna challenge you and stretch you, that's where you're gonna learn. And then after you learn, you will earn. I'm telling you, wealth, generational wealth is for everyone, but everyone's not going to rise to the occasion, right? Being an entrepreneur, the door is open for everyone, but everyone's not going to rise to the occasion. And if you are not willing to work at it, and sometimes that means getting a job and working in what your business is. Sometimes that means having a side hustle. I did it. She did it. So listen, people that telling you, this sister was telling you something in love, and then some of these other influencers get on this hate. Like again, a hit pig will squall. Some of you country folk, correct me on that one. That is what you need to see. So instead of getting mad at her, get mad at the people that are that's making these videos that's mad at her, because they are going to keep you broke. And last thing, I'm not going to turn this off. I'm not going to cut this short. If you're a single guy and you're trying to get a woman, don't listen to single men. And for those of you women that's in a huddle and you are listening to is single women, and they're talking about how no good men are, you will stay single, and you deserve to stay single, because hurt people hurt people. Misery loves company. All right? Get around somebody that knows how to get a man and keep a man, and listen to them, and stop with all of this hate. Okay? This is Uncle Larry. All I got for you is the truth. And if you disagree with the truth, then you're wrong. All right? I love you guys for real though. Hey, I got some things that's gonna help you guys grow in stocks and crypto, and the links below. Just go ahead and click them. But please hear my heart of hearts. I love you. God loves you. That's why he had you click onto this. And I want you to look inward. Like Michael Jackson said, start with the man or woman in the mirror. All right? Love you guys. Live, love, laugh. And I couldn't let this one go, good people. Listen, if you are an entrepreneur, and especially if you look like Tabitha and you're an entrepreneur and you had to hustle, I want you to leave a post. If you had to work outside of your job, and if you know that being an entrepreneur is difficult, and you give up a lot of family time, you don't have any life, and you really had to struggle to get your business off the ground, and you had to do things, please help the family and let them know that it's difficult and it requires hard work. I know a lot of sisters that are killing it in business, but I want you to listen to their stories of the hard times or the low seasons, all right? Okay? So everybody wants the glory, but they don't know your story.